Hey, how you doing everybody? My name is CherryBoy and welcome back to Tenshi 2. And before we get started, I just want to say this real quick. Sorry, no animation today. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought to edit, so real sorry about that everybody. Though it will be out tomorrow on Saturday or Sunday at the latest, hopefully. Yes, but don't worry, animation is done completely, just editing and stuff, so sorry that's taking so long. And sorry to everybody I said that it was coming out by the end of November. Sorry, but beginning of December is pretty good too, right? But still, I'm sorry everybody. Anyway, before we get started one more time, thank you guys so much for all the support you shown the last video of Tenshi. It was totally crazy, and like when I saw it, I was like, whoa, why? I don't get it. But thank you so much for everybody for watching. Anyway, let's get right back into it. It didn't take long for Kyo and Tessa to round up the crystals, or for Bunny to revert back to her normal size. After that, Grandpa opened the time window again, allowing the girls and I to return to our time with both souvenirs. Great, oh sorry. Okay, let's make sure everything was right. And with both our souvenirs and a prisoner. Unfortunately, just then I remembered that time travel had some unique side effects. Kenji, oh Kenji, you're my brave knight in shining armor. Come with me and we shall dance together. Kenji-kun, don't you want to play with the girls? Did you mean you three or did you mean your two girls? And you can have some of my senbei. They're really yummy. Ken, you big hunk. Get over here and give Bae a kiss. That was great. Now! Now! I gulped in as the girls all started swaggering towards me and went, nope.
Kenji! Quickly!
Fortunately, I was faster this time, and I was faster this time and darted through the door that Grandpa had opened before the practically drunken girls could react. I made it into the hallway and breathed a sigh of relief as I heard the door locking behind me. Knock, 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 knock. Hey. No fair. I want to play with Kenji-kun. That was a close call. No, I should have gone back. Shortly after the girls had recovered from the side effects of time travel, Grandpa met with us in the experimental lab. Although maybe not. We wanted mutual love there.
You're alright. You're alive. Oh, thank goodness you're all alive.
Grandpa expresses his relief and hugged all of the girls. Meanwhile, Kyo was running quick checks on us, doing her best to make sure that there weren't any lingering side effects of the poison Mizuki had used, as well as checking on Bunny, who was still unconscious. Hey, we're all good, Tensai. Shaken, but not stirred. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, I'm gonna have to run some tests just to make sure that whatever it was that Mizuki used on us has been fully metabolized. But still, I'm sure we're all fine. Sorry, okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure I read that all in one go, sorry. Tensai, I'm so sorry about what happened. You warned us not to go after Bunny Mizuki, and...
You're all alive. No harm has been done. And I think it's safe to say that you learned from your mistakes. Besides, you're not the reason that last mission went as badly as it did.
What do you mean? Yeah, and for that matter, where's Michelle? I saw her on the way out of the time window, but why isn't she here?
So, I suppose it's only fair to tell you. I've disconnected Michelle from the communication system, as well as the rest of the equipment. Put the time window and everything else on manual control.
Huh? Wait, what? Grandpa, what are you saying?
Isn't it obvious? Mizuki and Bunny were waiting for you, at the exact time and place you were about to appear in. They knew that Rose and Kyo were unarmed, and were ready to attack. And we all know that there's only one way that that's possible. Honestly, we were all stunned, both by Grandpa's unspoken accusation and the venom in his words.
Wait, you mean she sold us out to the enemy? But that's not possible!
Isn't it? If not, isn't it? If not for Michelle, none of this would have ever happened in the first place, sir. If not for Michelle, none of this would have ever happened in the first place.
The mood has changed very suddenly in the experimental lab, and I didn't know what to say to this. On the one hand, Michelle had been completely open with us, and I really couldn't see how she could carry on deceptions like that while she was trapped in the time window. But at the same time, there was no getting around the fact that Bunny and Mizuki had been ready and waiting for our arrival. Sorry, I couldn't see anything like that happening unless they had been told when and where we would appear. I know this looks bad, but I really don't think we should condemn Michelle unless we have proof that she's actually responsible for what happened. For a while, everyone stood there in silence after my words. Grandpa studied us with a heavy frown. But as the silence built up, he eventually sighed and nodded.
You're right, of course. Very well then. Let's go to the time window room and see Michelle.
As we arrived at the time window laboratory, Kyo went in alone first.
Hi, Michelle.
Kyo, what's been happening? How's Bunny? Is she doing any better?
She's still unconscious. It looks like whatever Kenji did to her quantum guard hyperstimulated her brain. But from what I can tell, she was able to put it into detox mode just in time to avoid brain damage.
Oh, geez, that was dangerous.
So, she'll be alright then?
It sure looks that way. It'll probably be a while before she wakes up. A day or two at least. But as long as we don't try to remove her quantum guard, she should be just fine.
Thank goodness.
Yes, I'm sure you're relieved. A pity that you don't show the same amount of concern for your other friends.
Tensai! Remember, innocent until proven guilty? Innocent until proven guilty?
Yes, of course. More like,
Tensai! Remember, innocent until proven guilty! Remember, innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah, sorry.
yes, of course. Michelle, I...
Tensai, hold on. I mean, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but would it be alright if I handle this? As Grandpa studied Rose's determined eyes, he sighed and nodded somberly. Thank you. Thank you. Michelle, we've been friends for a long time now, or at least I've thought of us as being friends. You've been strict and even humorless, but you've always made it clear that you cared. And that's why I don't want to believe that you betrayed us today. But at the same time, I can't ignore the fact that Bunny and Mizuki were ready and waiting for us. They knew exactly where and when we would arrive in Australia, and I, nor any of the rest of us, can see how they could do something like that without being warned. I understand. I can see how they do something like that. Sorry, just be real, sorry. I understand. Now, we know about your past, and you've been Now we know about your past, and you've been upfront and honest with us the entire time since we learned of it. Which is why I'm going to ask you to be honest with me once more. Did you or did you not contact Bunny and Mizuki to warn them about our arrival? No! Rose, I haven't spoken with them or heard from them or anything since I was... Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Michelle, I want to leave it at that. I really wish that we could. But after what happened, we can't take any chances, not with everything that's at stake. So Tessa's going to be spending some time going over the communication logs and the rest of our systems, just to make sure, one way or another.
Trust Michelle, don't trust Michelle. Oh, options! Interesting. Let me go see real quick once again.
We gotta trust Michelle. I believe in you, Michelle. Michelle, relax. I believe you, and I believe the logs will prove that you... I believe the logs will prove what you said to be true. Yeah, you're right, Kenji. Alright, that's fair. I can accept that.
And on that note, I suggest we adjourn to the cafeteria. It's spacious enough for our purposes, and, well, I'd rather not speak in front of Michelle, or Bunny, and her quantum guard, just in case.
Well, okay, but the sooner we get done with this meeting, the better. I need to keep an eye on Bunny's condition. I mean, I know she's like the enemy, but she's still a patient to me.
Very well then, I'll try not to keep you too long.
Kyo, please take good care of Bunny for me, okay?
Don't worry, Michelle. I'll do everything I can for her.
Thanks. Oh man. Some time passed in the cafeteria as Grandpa went through the sides of his plan. After he'd finished, I spoke up. So, wait. You want to send Bunny back to her time and then... Use the passage she leaves behind to follow her into the future?
Exactly, Kenji. And since the wormhole will lead to exactly where Bunny would have been if she hadn't gone back in time, we will be in perfect sync with the future. We'll be in the perfect position to destroy their time window, and any other equipment they might have.
Oh yeah! Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm liking the sound of that. I'm liking the sound of that. Especially the destruction part. I've got a lot of anger to unload on those jerks. I've got a lot of anger to unload on those jerks. Oh wait, hold on. You really want to try and destroy that? You really want to try to You really want to try and destroy their time window? But what about the future? If we destroy their time window, we won't be able... Well, sorry. But what about the future? If we destroy their time window, won't we also destroy our best chance of stopping it from ever happening?
Bunny Mizuki's plan for saving the future is all based on an untested theory and a potential lunatic, something that can only end in disaster. I understand that you're not happy about this, but be honest. After everything that's happened, can any of you really see any alternative?
On the one hand, I knew the kind of world they were cursed to suffer in. I understood how that could lead to desperation. But as I looked at the others and recalled how easily they had been taken down, how willing Mizuki and Bunny had been to hurt them, and Mizuki's promise of death if we didn't comply with their demands. Sorry. No, you're right, Tensai. This has to end.
Oh man, it's happening.
After Grandpa sent the girls on their way to do the various tasks assigned to them, I found myself sitting on the bed for a while, without really any idea of what to do. Sleep felt impossible, but with everything that had happened, I found myself spending almost an hour staring fruitlessly at the ceiling. So, I decided to spend some time writing a letter to my mother and father, telling them my thoughts and feelings, and why I was doing what I was doing. A letter containing all the things I would like them to know, in case I never had the chance to speak those things myself. Sorry. Whew, okay. Sometime later, I heard a voice at my door.
Hey Ken, okay to come in? Hey Ken, okay to come in?
Huh? Tessa? Sorry, Tessa? Oh, yeah, sure.
Look, we finished preparing for our trip to the future. Well, at least we're as finished as we're gonna be. So...
What do you mean as finished as we're gonna be? Did something happen? Is something wrong?
Yeah, in fact, a couple of things are wrong. Mind if I sit down? I've been hearing the calf explosions a lot more than I should have been with all the stupidity.
I nodded and waved Tessa over to a chair.
Okay, first, the good news. I went over the lab's computers, communication logs, and all that stuff. And there's absolutely no sign that Michelle's been talking with the other side. As far as I can tell, she didn't tip off anybody.
Really? Well, that's great. So, what's the bad news?
The bad news is that we still have no idea how the gruesome twosome managed to see us coming, so we don't know how to prevent it from happening again. On top of that, the drama between Tensai and Michelle has skyrocketed to all new levels. Rose was able to convince him to let her work the equipment again, but I think he'd rather just blow up the time window, Michelle and all, than keep looking at her.
That is bad news. Things are hard enough without us fighting each other.
Yeah, I know. And now get ready for the worst news.
How can the news get worse?
Easy. I tried copying the programming from Bunny's quantum guard to the ones we've made, but it was a no-go. It was all encrypted to prevent copying. Now, the encryption isn't as bad as the stuff on the files from the future, but bad enough that it'd take me a lot of time to decrypt it all. And ironically enough, time is something we don't have a lot of right now. Time is something we don't have a lot of right now.
You mean we still won't be able to... You mean we still won't be able to use the assault modes?
Bingo. And believe me, I'm aware of just how badly that sucks. Unfortunately, we don't exactly have time to mess around trying to get our guards working. Not if we're going to be able to rain on the bad guys' parade.
Then, this is it, huh?
Yep, this is it. The big day. Listen, Ken, you got any plans for, later?
I really haven't had time to plan for anything later. Why?
Well, it's just, with so much on the line, I've been doing some thinking.
Really? About what?
I never had much in the way of a social life, thanks to dear old Marty treating me like a living doll and me trying to get over it. I never had any real friends, never went on dates or any of the stuff that I figure most regular people do. Well, the bottom line is that until I met Tensai, I didn't even have anybody I really felt I could, you know, talk to about stuff. And now, Tessa shifted about on my bed, and her shirt slipped off on one shoulder, revealing more of her body. I was considering whether to point this out when Tessa looked at me nervously and continued. Her face. So, I was wondering, you think maybe we might, I don't know, grab something to eat when this is over?
Except this is offer. Try to discourage her. Oh, why would I ever do that? Alright, darn it. Choices are flying in now. They're gonna be flying all over the place. Need more save slots. Okay, I don't know what, I guess, you know, we'll go for all the endings, so, let me just see, let me reread something real quick. Did I miss anything? I got bread now, I got something later.
Listen, Ken, you got any plans?
I got nothing, sorry. Thought I missed something, okay. Let's accept Tessa's offer. Tessa's sudden advances surprised me a little, but to be honest, I did find her at least somewhat cute. What do you mean? She's totally awesome, especially when she went so desperately when we beat up Bunny in the last episode. So despite how awkward it seemed at the time, I decided to give her a little rope. Well, I mean, this is quite sudden, but you know, I wouldn't mind going. Thunk! I frowned as I made my way over to the source of the sound, my door, and opened it. I was immediately met with the sight of Rose and Kyo losing their balances and falling towards me. Huh? Before I could even think of moving, both Rose and Kyo crashed into me. I fell hard to the floor with the two of them on top of me, and both of their busty bodies pressed against my face.
What the? Hey, you jerks were spying on us, weren't you?
Of course not. We wouldn't do anything like that.
Oh yeah? Then how come you fell down on Ken when he opened the door if you didn't have your ears pressed against it?
I'll tell you why. We were, Kyo, tell her what we were doing.
Oh, we were listening to you cut in line on Kenji.
If my field of vision had been crammed with cleavage, I'm sure I would have been able to see Rose smacking herself in the face. Do you cut in line on Kenji?
Ha! A couple of bimbo brains blowing an innocent conversation out of proportion while smothering a guy with their knockers. And, oh crap.
Girls. Is there two girls? I'd ask where Kenji is, but I have a strong suspicion I already know the answer to that. So, would you kindly get off of him?
Oh, sure. I don't suppose you believe me if I said that this wasn't what it looked like, would you?
No, Kyo. No, I would not. And more to the point, we don't have time to waste. I've just finished the final bits of programming on the time window. Everything's ready for us to try and make it to the future. So I recommend that you get into your time suits and then report to the time window room.
Okay.
Got it, Tensai. Sure. Sure. Bye, Kenji.
Bye, Kyo.
I won't ask what was going on there, Kenji. For now, let's get your shield and follow me. Just get your shield and follow me.
I replied with a slightly embarrassed nod and returned to my room. I picked up the shield that I had never even used and slid it on my arm, before heading back after Grandpa to the time window room. I thought I used the shield once, maybe? Oh no, that was in the option that I forgot, with the Fairway, when she became a pillar man, sorry. I still think this is a mistake, old man. Hi, Michelle. I guess you heard about the plan, huh? Rose told me about it. And Gramps, I still can't believe that you'd sink low enough to using Bunny to destroy our one and only chance of saving the future. I always knew you were a coward and an idiot, but this...
Michelle, enough. I'm done discussing this insanity with you. We have to move now. We've detected anomalies in the time stream, large energy distortions rippling into our time. As far as we can tell, they appear to be the beginning of the formations of the quantum casualty loop mentioned in the files.
So, wait, what? You mean...
We're not precisely sure what it means. Our best guess is that someone in the future is or will be conducting tests of the third time window mentioned in the theory. However, it does mean that we've run out of time. We have to move quickly if we're to put a stop to this.
Which I keep saying is a mistake! Oh man, their plan will work. All we have to do is...
One more word, Michelle, and I'll disconnect you from the equipment again.
Yes.
Good timing, girls.
Rose, Kyo, and Tessa arrived in their time suits and ready for action. Looking great. Grandpa filled him in on the readings he and Michelle had picked up before pointing to a table nearby. There were 4 brand new quantum guards on it, different from the ones worn by Bunny and Mizuki. They were simpler and colored the same silver as Rose's armor.
Here are your quantum guards. They might not have functional assault modes, but they will provide better insulation during time travel. And more importantly, they'll help to anchor you in the future once you get there. Make sure that there won't be a repeat of what she did.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that. More like, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Tessa grabbed one of the quantum guards immediately and slid it onto her arm. Sorry. Rose and Kyo were quick to do the same, and I was the last to wear one of the strange devices. And I was the last to wear one of the strange devices. Sorry. And as I stood among the girls, that I felt proud to call my friends, and maybe even more. Totally. I knew that no matter what happened next, this would be the final battle. Oh. Grandpa stood near the time window, his expression hard and determined, and maybe even a little angry as we prepared for what was to come.
Alright then, I know that we haven't had as much time to prepare as we would have liked. But we don't have any time to waste, not with everything that's on the line.
We understand, and we're ready.
You bet we are. I, for one, have been looking forward to getting some serious payback on the pain in the tut.
Grandpa managed a tiny smile and nodded.
In theory, your weapons should now be able to disrupt the fields generated by the enemy's quantum guards. In theory, your weapons should now be able to disrupt the fields generated by the enemy's quantum guards. Sorry.
Tensai, I know that we might have to fight them, but, well, we still don't know exactly how using a quantum guard affects the brain. This is an entirely new technology, and we've barely had a chance to study it.
Exactly. And after what happened to Bunny, if we disrupt them with our weapons, it might be fatal.
I am painfully aware of that fact, Rose and Kyo, but we no longer have any choice in the matter. Now then, Tessa, I've loaded your backpack with more electromagnetic bombs. Enough to destroy the time window, the computers in the future, and even this third time window that they're supposed to be building. I'm trusting you to wipe it all out. Make sure that there's not even the slightest chance of them... Make sure that there's not even the slightest chance of them ever rebuilding any of it.
Sorry. Tessa accepted the backpack with an eager grin.
You got it, Tensai. I'll get the job done.
Be sure that you do. This crisis has taxed our resources considerably. I had to use up a fair amount of electronic components to make those bombs. Those are all that we have left. Rose?
Yes.
I've prepared some acid you can use to destroy the shield around the time window in the future, assuming that it's still there. As well as other equipment that should help with any other security measures that they may have. Given our previous intrusion, I don't doubt that they'll be more cautious.
Grandpa handed Rose a bag before... Grandpa handed Rose a bag before continuing.
Now, Kyo, Tessa, please bring in Bunny.
Sigh.
About a minute passed as we waited for Kyo and Tessa to return. When they did, they wheeled in the gurney carrying Bunny's unconscious body.
Tensai, are we really sure about this? I mean, destroying their time window?
I know you and the others have doubts about this, Kyo, but this is the only way left. This nightmare has to end, and unfortunately, this is the only way it can.
He's right.
Look, old man, I know your head is stuck in stone, but the rest of you have to see that this is wrong. We can't destroy the future time window.
We can, and we most certainly will.
And throw out our best chance of saving the future in the process? Kenji, please! You've changed the past yourself. You didn't give in to fear. Doesn't that tell you something? My family. Even with the shift in the timeline, I could still remember the fire. Could still see the flames consuming my home, stealing away my mother and father. The heat of the blaze, the noxious fumes and smoke, the screams. I shook myself free of those images, the past that no longer was. And as I did so, I realized that Michelle was right about one thing, but also very wrong about something else. You're right, Michelle. I was able to make a choice that changed the future.
Kenji.
But it's not the same situation. What I did and what Bunny and Mizuki are planning, those are two very different things. What I did and what Bunny and Mizuki are planning, those are two very different things. And Nefere, she's someone we can't trust.
Yeah, I figured that much out when she tried to kill us. Sorry. Yeah, I figured that much out when she tried to kill us. Sorry. She tried to kill us?
Yeah. And if all she wanted to... Yeah, and if all she wanted was to save the future, then what could she have possibly lost by allowing us to stay? If anything, us all teaming up would have made saving the future a lot easier. But yet, she fought us off and sent us back into the past. So why? There could be any number of reasons for that, Kenji. Most of which doesn't mean she has some hidden agenda. She might just want all of the credit for saving the future. She could be arrogant. She might be suffering from side effects caused by time travel. Any one of which makes me concerned about having the future be completely dependent on her to save it. Kenji's right. There's just too much that we don't know, and it's all too risky. We have to end this now.
Precisely. Now, Michelle, raise the shield. The instant we send Bunny back to the future, we'll need to wedge open the wormhole left in her wake with the time window, and that will take...
No. You might be willing to cave into fear, but I'm not! And even if I can't do anything to stop you, then you can bet your butts I won't help you destroy the last best hope the future has. Michelle folded... Sorry, my eyes are more like... Then you can bet your butts I won't help you destroy the last best hope the future has. Yeah. Michelle folded her arms under her ample chest and turned on her heel away from us. Always about the ample chest. Sorry.
It's just as well. We don't need you making things worse. It's just as well. We don't need you making things worse than you already have. Alright, Tessa, I'll need your help with the time window. For now, you and Kenji, get Bunny onto the platform. Onto the platform. I'll raise the shield.
You got it, Tensai.
Grandpa elevated the plexiglass shield, and as it slid up out of view, Tessa and I worked to lift Bunny up off the gurney. Moving carefully, we carried the tall girl over to the time window and put her on the platform. Michelle scowled at me, and I was quick to move away from the time window as Tessa went back to join Tensai.
Very good, very good. Rose, when I give you the word, hit Bunny with your sword. We'll need to time this perfectly for it to create a stable portal to the future.
I understand. Sorry. Coming to stand over Bunny's prone form, the English girl held her blade at the ready. Whenever you're ready. Grandpa went to work, his fingers flying over the controls as Tessa moved to assist him, and as I stood by, watching and waiting, I could hear the equipment humming in readiness.
Alright. Not quite. Alright. Not quite. Almost. Get ready. Now!
Immediately, Rose brought her sword down on Bunny in a gentle swing. An instant later, the future woman's clothes fell apart, leaving her completely exposed to the world.
At least we know that the power boost from our guards work, and one of these days, you're gonna have to tell them why the clothes go first. At least we know that the power boost from our guards work, and one of these days, you're gonna have to tell me why the clothes go first.
Stay focused, Tessa. It'll happen any sec. Stay focused, Tessa. It'll happen any second.
Sorry if I overloaded the mic with a no. Or now.
There it is!
Bunny's form dissolved into dust, and sure enough, a flicker of light appeared at the center of the time window. With considerable cajoling, my grandfather and Tessa managed to convert it into a full-fledged portal.
Everyone, you need to go now. I don't know how long I can hold this open.
Got it. Everyone, let's go. All right. Rose immediately entered the time window, with Tessa following a short distance behind her. Yeah, sorry. Kyo, she hesitated a brief moment, studying Michelle's angry form before joining the other girls. There, did you see that? There we go. Kyo, she hesitated a brief moment, studying Michelle's angry form before joining the other girls. I gave the place one last look before entering as well. Alright, here we go. Whew. And if I see. So that's the path that I see. So that's the path that I see. So that's the path they've chosen. Inconvenient, and yet the little one still has a crucial choice to make. One that would greatly mitigate the potential risk and... Gasp. Feeling her heart speeding up, Neferi brought her hand up to her chest. Ba-dum-dum, doki-doki. A feeling of euphoria swept through her as she rose to her feet and stepped away from her bed. So it has begun. So it has begun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the power. The power. Oh, the power. I will transform this world into a paradise. For eternity. Sorry. What was going on there? As I found myself in the strange vortex of color that was the passage through the time window, I couldn't help but feel nervous. No matter how things went, this would be the final battle. One way or another, this would be the end of it. Sorry. At the end of this journey, what would come next? At the end of this journey, what would come next? How would we...
Welcome to the Boob Job Express. Ken, you are so lucky that this place doesn't do perverted stuff to your bod.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Sorry. Chuckle. I know what you mean. Still, let's stay focused. There's a good chance that Mizuki or Nefere will be waiting for us, so... That's so good!
Oh, great. Here they grow again. Oh, great. Here they grow again.
It's great CG. I love it. Yeah, very nice. And kill with her bag. Oh, yes, I love her booty, of course. Very good, very nice. Trying very hard not to act the part of a pervert, I still couldn't help but watch my friends' bodies as the force outside our three-dimensional plane did their work. The girls' shapely orbs swelled vigorously, graduating to one cup size only to abandon it for another moments later. Rose's cheeks flushed with humiliation as her boobs swelled impossibly in size. She made a point of averting her gaze from her bulging breasts. Tessa, meanwhile, grumbled under her breath, with her arms folded. She paused only to glare down at the heart-shaped window to her cleavage, as if she was trying to scold it out of growing anymore. So Rose was like, and Tessa with a good old... But I also realized that there was none of Kyo's usual glee over the girl's mind-bogglingly huge assets. None of the showing off or twirling her figure. No groping of the other girls. No teasing or joking. No... Sorry.
I can't do it!
Kyo suddenly reached down and grabbed Tessa's backpack.
Hey, what do you think you're...
Before Tessa or anyone else could do anything, Kyo forced the backpack to open. Oh no, that's it. Oh no, it's not her bag, it's just a backpack. In a flurry of moments, she emptied out the electromagnetic bombs and sent them flying back down the surreal passageway we'd come through. Oh no! Kyo, no! Kyo, no! But it was already too late. Kyo, no! Sorry. Of all the bombs that had floated back the way we had come, disappearing from sight, and I knew that they were lost to us, Snarling wrathfully, Tessa whirled around and grabbed Kyo by the wrists. Oh, she's bigger than her.
You idiot! You incompetent use of boom-ups as waste of space! What the flying crap were you thinking? I was thinking of the future, of all the destruction there. Look, I know you're all mad at Bunny and Mizuki, but if Michelle was right and their plan is the only way of fixing things, then... Seeing as the brilliant scheme depends on all depends on the royal pain, then I'd say we're better off without it, and...
I realized I had to step in quickly before things spiraled completely out of control. Tried to calm Tessa down and stand up. Oh no, more choices! Don't try to calm Tessa and stand up, Kyo. Just break up the argument quickly. Oh, let's just try and break it up quickly, I guess. Try to calm Tessa. Try to calm Tessa and Kyo. I don't know. Break quickly. I like hearing more.
Tessa, stop it!
Sigh. Look, I know you're upset, but getting mad at Kyo isn't going to help any of us. But getting mad at Kyo isn't going to help any of us now. Kenji's right. But you may have just destroyed any chance we have of ending this, Kyo. And when this is over, of ending this, Kyo. And when this is over, Oh, they're there. Okay. Another surge of the boob expansion. There. Okay, I never found out what Rose was about to say, because just then the vortex between times released us into the future Time Windows laboratory. Alright, but that's all the time I got for this one, everybody. Gotta leave it on a what you call it, a cliffhanger, sorry. But thank you guys so much for watching, and let me just say one more time, sorry again that the animation was not finished today. But I'm working on it, just editing's taking a little bit longer than I thought, but it's totally worth it, alright? So once again, sorry to everybody that I said it was coming out on November 30th and the end of November. Sorry, but coming out, December 1st, December 2nd, that's what I'm going for. But thank you guys so much for understanding. Real sorry about that again. And thank you so much for watching. Oh, and the video yesterday, last time Tenshi part, it did so insanely well. I have no idea why. But thank you guys so much, every single one of you. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart and soul. Thank you guys so very much, very much. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry again that I'm repeating words and repeating lines. I just want to make sure I'm voicing it right. So yeah, sorry, here we go again, just rambling on, or talking about just everything, so sorry. But thank you guys so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like below. If there's any other games you'd like me to play, or just want to talk, please comment down below as well. And if you like this and would like to see more, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That'd be epically appreciated of you. And as always, my name is CherryBoy. My goal in life is to make you smile. Also, I'm sorry if I peaked the mic with the really loud parts, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye. See ya. Sorry if I peaked. See ya.